Good morning and welcome back to your weekend unboxing here on Gaming with ADHD, where today we're going to be taking a look at Battletech Mercenaries from Catalyst Game Labs. Now, in 2023, Catalyst Game Labs took to Kickstarter again to fund another wave of miniatures, including the Mercenaries box set. So today we're going to open it up. We're going to take a look at the contents. Now there will be a couple of videos coming later where I'll look at the actual miniatures that are provided inside. But for today, we're just going to look at what you get inside, and I'll let you know kind of my first impressions of this particular content. Now, before we get started with that, do make sure you're subscribed to the channel. I try to put out a few videos each week covering all sorts of tabletop gaming content, whether it's miniatures, board games, role-playing, or anything in between, and I'd love for you to come along and see what we have to share. In addition, if you are interested, there are a couple of affiliate links down below where to Amazon or DriveThruRPG. They do help out the channel if you choose to use them, but it's not required, and we're just grateful you're here regardless. So, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get started. All right, so first off, this box set is going to run you about $75. That's the official retail price. Obviously, I backed it during the Kickstarter, so, price, value, etc. may not necessarily, be equivalent, but that's the official retail price. And for that, you're going to get 12 miniatures, including 8 battle mechs and 4 vehicles. You'll get a couple of dice, cards for Alpha Strike, maps, tokens, rules, record sheets, etc. Basically, you're getting essentially a big expansion. A lot of common material for Battletech, but it does not have the basic Battletech rules, so you'll want to keep that in mind. You'll want to get either Total Warfare or a game of Armored Combat in order to have that information. But that's the back of the box. Sorry for the glare from the lights, but what can we do? All right. So let's open it up. Now, this is the basic cover. If you backed the Kickstarter and went for the special edition cover, basically it's a black box with the Battletech A. I mean, that's really all I can think of it. Just a big one of those on the cover. But I do have access to a retail copy, so we're going to take a look at this one. All right. So first off, we're going to start with, as always in all of these box sets, a novella, in this case from Michael Sciaravella. Michael, if I mispronounced that, I'm very, very sorry. It also does have the Ill Clan icon on that, so do keep that in mind as far as when this story is going to be set. So this is actually July 3151. I have not read this yet, but we're looking at 27 pages. Probably about 25 once you take the couple of pages in the front. And then we've got art of, I'm assuming, the battle mechs that are used in this story. It's pretty common for how Battletech has run in the past. All right. Now, the miniatures, we'll do a quick look at these. I'm not going to spend a lot of time because, again, we'll have miniature reviews coming later. But we're going to start with some of the cards because, unfortunately, sometimes I forget the names of the mechs. So this way I can have the cards out and make sure I get that right. All right. So first up, we've got... Actually, here, let me go ahead and zoom this in. We've got the Chameleon. We've got the Star Slayer. We'll get some proper turnarounds coming with the miniature reviews. We got a Caesar. I thought this was actually a Cataphract, but I should have known better because they already released one of those. And everything released now is brand new stuff. We got the Devastator. This is actually a really good model. I've seen some 3D print versions, but this is really nice as well. All right, we've got a Flea. Nice little 20-tonner. The Firefly. Interesting little job with the wings there. The Quick Draw, which is this one, as I'm throwing things around. So again, same level of quality that Catalyst has been putting out with the Battletech miniatures for the last couple of years now. You know, nice sculpts, decent amount of detail. You know, not super hard plastic, but still pretty good. This is the Ossel. All right, we then have our two vehicles, which, let me find cards for those so that I know which vehicles. Again, this is just an unboxing. All right, so we've got the Maxim Heavy Transport hovercraft. Little turret on top, which can spin. All right, wasn't expecting that. And we've got the Galleon Light Tanked, nice little tracked vehicle. Overall, and then, oh, its gun on top turns as well. Interesting. I was not expecting swivel guns. Got a couple of dice. Put the pilot cards back in. All right, so you're going to get your cards for Alpha Strike. Remember, Alpha Strike is your simplified version of Battletech. You get one of those for all of the units. Now, this is the Battlefield Support Deck. Now, that's one of the interesting things that they've added to this box set is the Battlefield Support rules, which I am not familiar with. I'm not sure if they've been used before, but I think they might actually be newer rules for using vehicles on a more simplified basis. I'll admit, when I back a Kickstarter, usually it's because it looks interesting. I'm not reading every single update to see how it works. So we'll have to review some of those later. But yeah, so we've got rules for airstrikes and bombing, strafing runs, you know, air cover, artillery, thumper, sniper, long tom. So again, just keeping this all a bit more simplified. Minefields. All right. So far, I like that. It's stuff that you want to add to BattleTech. I mean, there's no reason to not have the combined arms aspects of the game, but it's a game of giant stompy robots, so it makes sometimes it's not as exciting. So I actually am excited to have some simplified rules for using that, as opposed to, you know, having to use full BattleTech rules. Then we've got, so these are battlefield support cards. So we've got helicopters, hover tanks. Trying to see. All right, so these are the same regardless of side. But we've got helicopters and hover tanks and regular tanks. This is interesting because this is giving you got infantry, jump infantry, elementals. Emplacements. Now this is interesting because we've got number 1 and number 51. But all the numbers on that are the exact same. So I'm wondering if that's just so you can run, a pair of them. Okay, so it looks like you get 2 of all of the cards. So again, all sorts of stuff that you want to add to your games, but you don't necessarily want the same level of complexity as your Battletech rules. So there's that. All right, so underneath this tray, now we get to all of the extra bits. All right, so we've got a Battletech primer, which I'm going to guess has been updated for 3151. Ooh. All these different Merc units. Oh, they're actually highlighting Merc units this time. All right, so Universe Overview, Eras Overview, 3058 map. Which, okay, this is actually kind of cool. So these are all hiring halls. Basically what planet you have to go to. Then they've got a couple of hot spots, so problem areas where your mercenary unit might be deployed. And then Inner Sphere circa 3151. Again, hiring halls, hot spots, and a general map of the Inner Sphere. Description of mercenaries, description of mercenary units. So, cool. This is actually more like Primer Part 2. So, I totally support that. That's awesome. All right, we then have Rulebook. All right, so looking at our contents, we've got Battlefield Support, Chaos Campaign Mercenaries. So this is interesting, and this seems like it's along the lines of like the old mercenary handbook from 20 plus years ago. So essentially how to make a team. So we've got description of battle value, campaign flow chart, contracts. So Chaos Campaign is their Battletech campaign system. I've never quite figured it out. I'm probably just being dumb, but it's never seemed super intuitive. So hopefully this actually makes it a little bit simpler and easier to work with, but I'll have to tell you when I actually read through it. All right, so Battlefield Support, how the asset cards work, what all the parts mean. Now keep in mind all the cards are pretty laminated, so should work fine with a dry erase marker. So again, basically, how do you use the Battlefield Support assets? Tracking damage. Interesting. All right, so the Battlefield Support strike rules were originally published in the Battletech Manual, where they were simply called Battlefield Support rules. Most of the same rules are included here, minus a handful of advanced rulebook items for 2 reasons. First, to ensure that all Battlefield Support rules for this box and force packs are in a single location for ease of reference. Also, the costs originally listed in the Battletech Manual have been adjusted to work alongside the Battlefield Support Assets rules. Okay. So, if you have the Battletech Manual, then you already have most of these rules. Or, well, you have more than these rules. That's what I should say. Sorry. Anyways, cool. Again, just more breakdown. There's a lot of text going on, but not horrible. run the campaign. And then, all right, so they've got a couple of breakdowns. The Mercenary Force record sheet and the Mercenary Contract record sheet, which I know they actually have laminated versions of in the box, but we'll get to that in a little bit. All right, we've got record sheets. You know, permission to copy granted, obviously. So it looks like 2 versions. Yeah, 2 versions of each of the mechs. So it gives you some variety. That's awesome. Oh, come on. Sorry, folks. I'm struggling here. All right. New map. All right. I'm not going to be able to open this because of the infamously small work table. But we have Inner Sphere 3058. So, essentially, height of the clan invasion. But then we also have Inner Sphere 3051. So post the battle for Terra. The wolves are the Ill clan, etc., etc., etc. So that's that. We've got tokens. Which, all right, so we've got a MASH unit, Mobile HQ, Long Tom, Warrior, Pegasus, Max. So basically everything that you saw in the cards, but now in token form. Infantry, mechanized infantry, emplacements, everything but in a different color. Not sure if that is actually game appropriate. So, like, if something happens, flip to the other color. I don't know. Again, I haven't read the rules. You all saw me flip through it. All right, we've got more assets. We've got field hospitals. We've got heavy emplacements, more infantry, ammo containers. And again, double-sided. It looks more like desert versus snow. All right. A new cheat sheet for the battlefield support rules. Force building battlefield support assets. So I'm not entirely sure what this is. I'm definitely going to have to read the rule book. All right. The Mercenary Contract record sheet laminated. Mercenary Force record sheet laminated. Okay, so that is a little annoying that it's double-sided. I mean, not annoying that it's double-sided, but both of these are on the same sheet. I have a feeling you're going to end up, like, wearing a lot of the dry erase off. And then you've got another cheat sheet for the campaign flowchart. Contract negotiation. SP, I'm guessing salvage points. Oh. An actual contract. Like, literally, this agreement executed between blank, hereafter designated employer, and blank, hereafter designated unit. And I can't really argue it because literally it's been a part of the Mercenaries handbooks since the very first one. So that's actually kind of funny. Also that they put it in a dry erase. All right. We then have 2 maps. All right. So first we've got River Valley. Again, same level of quality that I expect from the maps. So that's awesome. It looks similar, so I'm guessing that this one was already produced back in the day, but now this is just updated with new art. And then we have Scattered Woods. Just a little hill. Whoops. Yes, I still have not updated my infamously small work table. So that's one map. Second map is the lake area. So we've got a depth 3 lake in the middle with a river going to the end. So obviously you can set these maps end to end. And we have woodland, which is hills and scattered trees. Anyways, regardless, nice maps. Only real complaint I would give for the maps is the fact that the coloring, it doesn't really match the desert, but it also doesn't match the grasslands. So what am I supposed to match it up to? It'll look a little out of place. But that's a separate issue. It's just a map. Let's be honest, it's Battletech. Battletech at the end of the day is more or less a board game. So having maps that are different colors is fine. So overall, there's a lot in here, but it's also kind of scattered. Like if you want to just use it as, hey, I get more mechs and some vehicles, you know, I can see people buying it for that. I mean, that puts it, at 8 mechs and 4 vehicles, count each vehicle, or 2 vehicles as 1 mech, so say 10 mechs. Assuming, I think the salvage boxes are about $8 a piece, so you're getting a little bit of a break for the miniatures if you're just considering it that. Add in the maps, add in the tokens, and this starts to add up to some decent value. It's a little bit more expensive than I would want to pay, but I think with the amount of miniatures that they're giving you, it's kind of balancing it out at that price. Personally, I'm more excited about having the battlefield support rules to be able to use vehicles, helicopters, infantry, but in a little bit of a more simplified manner. I've, in literally the 30-something years, 35 years, holy crap, I am old. In the about 35 years that I've played Battletech, I've never used tanks, I've never used infantry. I just haven't been as interested in it. The vehicles aren't that difficult to add in, but regardless, having something that's a little bit more simplified, not necessarily Alpha Strike simplified, but just something where it's like, okay, I can take these, add that element into the game, but still focus more on the battle mechs, I'm actually a little bit excited for. So I'll definitely have to come back, let you know how it goes. We're going to be able to start our regular Battletech nights again, so should be soon. But overall, what did you think? Did you back the Kickstarter? Are you still waiting for your stuff? Did you get your stuff already? I know that, like, for me, like, since the shipping started, I've been waiting over a month to get my stuff, and finally got it the other day. So it's been definitely an interesting ride. I don't regret getting all of the items, but I do also kind of wonder if it might have been better just to wait for the retail release. So, yeah, overall, I'm just excited. It's more Battletech. Been one of my favorite games literally for most of my life, and I'm excited to try some new things. So I'll let you know how that goes, but if you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. I've got Force Packs, more reviews will be coming soon. As I said earlier, look for some more videos specifically focusing on reviews of just the miniatures themselves. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your time, and we will talk to you next time.